When I left the family brewery in Edinburgh, we were renowned for making IPAs, and so IPAs were in my blood. But I fancied a break, and barrel aging was my break. And I mean, barrels were a complete accident for us. You know, I was running our old family brewery in Edinburgh at the time, and we were asked by a big international whiskey company to come up with a special beer to flavour their whiskey barrels. And the beer that they filled in soaked into the grain of the wood, and it seasoned the barrel with flavour, the beer flavour. Then they chucked the beer away, they threw it away, and they filled those barrels with whiskey, which absorbed the beer flavour. And this process worked. They launched the whiskey, and all this beer that was being used to season the barrels was really just a byproduct. So it was being thrown away. And then I got a phone call one Friday afternoon in the brewery that changed everything. It was the distillery manager, and he said, "This beer that we've been throwing away, it tastes absolutely amazing." And so we got a barrel sent across to us, and we put it on our taste panel in the brewery. And it got 9 out of 9 from everybody. That had never happened in our company's history. 9 out of 9 from a taste panel for any product ever. And I became hugely excited. I thought, wow, there's really something in this. Yeah, I mean, there were other companies at the time experimenting with barrel aging, but when we launched in 2003, it certainly wasn't in the mainstream. In fact, you know, back in the UK, I don't think there was even craft beer at that point. Certain beer styles work better than others with barrel aging. So for example, you wouldn't really want to do an IPA in a bourbon barrel like we've got here, because the flavours just clash horribly. But you know, if you do something like a lovely Scotch ale, an amber ale, a stout, a porter, you know, if you think more malty, less hop forward beers, they work brilliantly in barrels. And you know, barrels impart lots of citrus character. Obviously they impart vanilla and toffee and things like that from the wood, and of course the oak itself has a character, a flavour and a mouthfeel. For us, certainly any beer style that lends itself to the softer, less bitter side of flavour profiles tends to work really well in barrels. Of course, you know, we do make a very nice barrel-aged IPA, but what we're using the barrels for in that case is more the mouthfeel. Like, so if you think like a lovely barrel-aged white wine, where the barrels are, you know, we're not looking for vanilla and we're not looking for toffee, we're just looking for, it's almost like the structure from which the other flavours hang. You know, the branch that is barrel-aged works really well with food, and again, you know, what we've always found when we're doing food matching, what we try to do is just match the intensities of flavour. So if you've got a really big, fully flavoured, powerful beer, just match it with a food of the same flavour intensity. That's why things like stouts and porters and blue cheese work well, because there's that big flavour there. You know, if you're going to have fish and chips, then you're probably looking for a nice IPA or something. You know, just match the intensities of flavour, and I think that just tends to work as a rule of thumb. There are some things that you can learn. If I think about the beer that I'm trying to brew, I can think about what it will taste like, and then I can work out from that what to add to get a beer to taste like that. But you know, barrels are the sort of fifth dimension. They're the X factor. You know, you don't always know what you're going to get, and so barrel aging is a lot about trial and error, about just experimenting, and you need to be open-minded, because sometimes it's an absolute bloody disaster. And then there's other times when, you know, just one barrel out of a huge batch will be so unbelievably good that you almost just want to drink it all yourself. But that's the joy of what we do.